Well, hello, church. It's Genelle here, and I'm down in St. Paul with my good friend Jill. And Jill is my guest today on Calvary Connection podcast. And Jill and I have been friends for many years, and she's going to just reflect with us on our three themes: reflect well, be well, explore well, as we do these things on my sabbatical, both individually and as a congregation. So thanks, Jill, for being willing to be a part of my podcast today. It's great to see you.
It's my honor. It's so fun. We're in my house.
Yes, we're here in St. Paul on a gorgeous day. We'd be doing this outside, except that we're hosting a live music festival.
Well, yeah, my husband is in a band, and they're going to play outside on our front patio, and the neighbors will just come sit around and listen.
So I'm going to be a bouncer tonight on the streets.
Can you imagine?
I mean,
can you imagine Genelle
many
as
gifts,
a bouncer?
Many gifts.
Yep.
Just have to share them everywhere I go. So Catherine and I are down here. We're about ready to fly out to Florida tomorrow as part of our time together on my sabbatical. But Jill, why don't we get started? What is one of the first memories when we reflect well together of you having a memory of me? Put you on the spot here.
Okay, I can be put on the spot. I mean, clearly here we are. Okay, so my very first memory of you, I'm just going to speak to you.
Yeah.
So my very first memory of you was you arriving at church next to a boy that I had a crush on. So I was a little jealous, but then I found out that you're a really nice person, and then I felt bad for being jealous, and then it turns out that he wasn't really worth it anyway, right?
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he was great.
Yeah.
But then, it just wouldn't have
Didn't work out.
Wouldn't have worked out for
either
either one of us.
It's true. It's true. Live and learn.
Live and learn. And then I remember you singing, and you have such a gorgeous singing voice.
Thank you.
And you were just fun to be around. So we were both on staff.
Yes.
At Central Lutheran, right?
Yes.
And I worked with younger kids, and you worked with youth, and we were all sort of part of the same team with different things, and so that was just not a cocoon, but it was an incubator for relationships and faith, and learning how to work with a variety, a diverse population, and it was great. Yeah.
Jill and I both grew up in small towns.
Mm-hmm.
We went there to private Lutheran colleges,
Mm-hmm.
and then explored life a little bit, and then ended up at seminary around the same time. And so that's where we got to study together and work together. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I remember, Jill, is going on camping trips up north. And even though we didn't have the same kids, we had shared experiences about that. So really exploring the Amnicon River and packing in and packing out and being with kids. And specifically a memory I have is getting back from a trip and then just sharing stories about how some of our kids that lived in the inner city had never seen like stars.
Right.
Before.
Slept in a tent.
Yeah.
Slept on the beach. Gotten in a canoe. Been in the woods.
Cooked your own food.
Right. Yeah.
Just all of those explore experiences, and Jill has really taught me a lot about life and faith, and a lot of shared memories there. And we've stayed fast friends. Mm-hmm. And this is one of my camping friends. For those of you who know that we camped every year with some seminary classmates, Jill's one of those. So our kids have kind of grown up together and have some camping experiences too. So we continued that tradition into our adult lives.
Yeah.
And introduced our kids to some of that too. So.
Yeah. Yep.
So the second goal on sabbatical is be well. And so we're trying to figure out how to stay healthy and whole and in these COVID times especially. And also, what do we do best and what do we need to leave to others to do? Kind of because they can do it too, or maybe they're even better than we're doing it.
Yeah.
So as a congregation, we're kind of studying that, thinking about that, as well as individually. So I'm trying to cut out carbs, unnecessary things that don't really fuel my body so I can be well, as well as just try to think of what kind of sucks my energy and how do I balance that with good energy. So what are some practices that you found to be well, or some be well goals?
That's good. That's a really good question. I have found that is probably like taking really active steps to take care of myself during COVID in particular.
Yes.
Like, it's always been hard for me, but it has been particularly during COVID. And I find like I have sort of let go of some of like maybe some strong like food rules that I used to follow,
Right.
and now it's more like listening to my body and trying to drink enough water. And then and when I'm able to move my body, I always feel better. I haven't always made that choice.
Yeah.
But also for me, I think an emphasis on relationships has been really important. And even though we're distant, that has been how I've taken care of myself. So early in COVID, we tried to get with our two other, Danny and Sue, our two other camping family friends. We decided to do like a happy hour, and it turned from a happy hour to like a coffee hour on a Saturday morning at 8:30, and then that's what has stuck.
Yeah.
And with the exception of like 2 Saturdays, it's been every Saturday morning
Yes.
since the end of March
And
last year.
Totally kept my sanity.
It has totally helped me
Yeah.
keep my sanity too. It has.
We're all working in churches. We all have different roles, raising kids through a global pandemic.
And we bounce ideas off each other. We offer support. We've had a couple of emergency meetings. How do we deal with this?
Right.
It has been extremely grounding and extremely comforting during an anxious time.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great thing. And so I think, again, just to learn, just surround yourself with people who will love you through it, to support you.
Yeah.
And we have a great time laughing together.
Oh, we laugh. Sometimes it's Sue reading a string of texts from her kids.
Right.
And sometimes it's Danny talking about her boys, and
Right. Life happens.
it happens. So
Yeah, that's great. That's good. And I think that's grounding, that relational stuff. So that's good. Thanks for sharing.
yeah, not taking relationships for granted. Like
Yeah.
just knowing that like it takes a little bit more work. So I've also let go, not like fully said goodbye to some people, but just like some people on the periphery, like just sort of letting go. I'm a really empathetic person.
Yes, you are.
So I tend to care about a lot of people,
and
carry their emotions, and it's actually not good for me. I have to figure out my boundaries around that. So being able to like say like during this time, it's most important that I pay attention to my family, that I tend to my closest friendships, that I virtually or in person as much as possible safely get together with people who matter to me.
Yeah.
And then and then also just keep in mind that everybody is dealing with everybody is living through this pandemic that nobody has lived through before.
Right. So some grace there.
So lots of grace.
Yeah.
Lots of grace. Yeah.
Great be well goals and thoughts, and hopefully you can take some of those and apply them to and relate to them too. Our last goal is explore well, and this is exploring new things, new lands, new people, and as I've said before, trying to challenge myself to see Jesus at work in different ways. I said that I've kind of gotten spoiled. I see Jesus well in Calvary and in Bemidji, and I really feel good about that, and yet there's more to learn, there's more to see, more to be refined. So this Explore Well goal is, in the church level, we're trying to do a strategic plan, and in my own life, just trying to stretch myself to see Christ at work and other people in other places. So what does that when I say all those things, what comes to mind for you with the Explore Well?
That is a good question. I, ask me more.
Yeah.
I
So
have to think about this. Okay.
What about exploring that we've shared or we want to do?
Right. Okay. So one thing that I came to understand about myself, before COVID, was that when running away is a form of self-care for me. And just being able to explore without distraction
Yes.
is a form of self-care for me. And that didn't change during COVID. And even though there were, especially in the earlier days when we were still trying to figure out how this was being transmitted, etc., it felt like we couldn't leave our homes, right?
Yes.
But then we came to understand that we could be outside and we could be in nature and we could do those things. So for me, exploring is being able to do that sometimes with other people, but being able to do that on my own. And I don't do quite enough of that, but it's a thing that kind of reminds me of who I am, because
Yes.
I just allow my curiosity to go, and it can just be actually just going to a small town and walking down the street and just walk the coffee shop and whatever, all that.
Yeah.
Or it can be just going to a park and walking a trail, or it can just be going for a walk with a friend. That's been really good. I've done that quite a bit.
Yeah.
And times that we've explored together, okay, so first of all, you have an extremely adventurous spirit. And you inspire me too, because also you're just like, we're going to do this thing. And we don't have actually every piece figured out yet. But we're going to do it. and then like great things happen, right? Like, and we see grace happen in that too.
Yeah.
Because I am somebody who needs to know enough before going into it. I need to know it's going to be okay. I need to know where my food is coming from and where I'm going to go to the bathroom, and where, like, if there's going to be what there's going to be to do, like, and or I just kind of stay in my own little bubble, and the way that you operate helps me it encourages me to get out of my bubble. Like, it's not careless and reckless. That's not what I mean.
No, I know.
But it's just...
I'm a big picture dreamer, and I trust that the details will fall into place. Like, I don't even think about the things you just listed. I'm like, we'll figure it out when we get there. But I can see how that sometimes it's like... And again, I'm a planner, but I can't... I need people around me, even at church, to get from point A to point B and think through those details, because it's not comes naturally... for me to do that.
And I have to do that. Like, I like to have those details in place for my own anxiety, but I also, I also can be a big picture person, and then it takes a lot of work to think through each piece to get to that final big picture.
Yeah.
But we've explored together.
Yeah.
Just the 12 years that we did camping, and we were in a different place almost every year.
We tried anyway.
We tried, and we did a little, not so much tent camping, but we did campers, and we did camper cabins, and we stayed at a house when the state park shut down, and we stayed at a house when the state park shut down again.
Yes, every 2 years.
That was 2 times that happened, and we just, that was an adventure in itself.
There were 18 of us.
18 of us.
So we had to feed and get schedules down, but...
shared meals, who's taking this, who's taking that.
Just planning the evening activity, and it was great.
And a lot of it was like shepherding our kids and just being like, I know you don't like that food, but we're all in it together. Right. And there was enough peer pressure that they did
Brussels sprouts.
They tried.
Whatever.
Yeah. It was good.
Good years.
Yeah. We all had different ideas.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the relationship is what continued to bring us together. So
yeah,
I feel like we have a halo just shining in.
Yeah, so I don't know. Are you going to have to redo this?
We might. I don't know. We'll have to review it again.
It's from that weird
If not, I just
window
feel
up
like
there.
this is just us glowing, giving ourselves to all of you. Thank you, Jill. Reflect well, be well. Oh, I just said that, and then our halo went away.
There's a cloud.
Explore well, and just my dear friend Jill. Thank you for being you, and thanks for being such a great friend to me and my family. And thanks for letting me hang out today.
I could talk for hours about how awesome you are. I could. Just give me the opportunity.
My friend
I'm
Jill,
so grateful.
everyone. Thanks for joining us for Calvary Connection. We'll see you next time.
Bye, Calvary.